You asked the White House announcing that a former Microsoft executive will take over the managing of the Obamacare website, replacing former corporate executive Jeffrey Zients. That move comes nearly 3 months after the website's disastrous rollout, a website that apparently is still getting up to speed. Jonah Goldberg at our large National Review Online and a Fox News contributor. Jonah, good day to you.
Good day to you, sir.
Good move here. I thought Zients was the guy, and now he's not. What do you think?
Well, Zients always said, and smartly, that he didn't want to make this a long-term proposition for himself.
He didn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, you want to get out of there as quickly as possible. I don't know, look, I mean, obviously this is a smart move in the sense that finally they're putting somebody in charge of a website that might know something about how to run a website. The problem is that it's a smart move after a very long chain of really, really dumb moves. It's sort of like calling in the surgeon after you've already amputated the leg. It's nice to have him around, but it would have been nice to have him a bit earlier.
Sure would. I mean, the tourniquet only lasts so long, doesn't it? Ed Henry asked precisely that question. Listen to Jay Carney's answer here.
Why in the world didn't the White House come up and hire someone like this in the summer, in the spring, a year ago to roll out Healthcare.gov?
I think your question goes to the absolute acknowledgement that we've made that Healthcare.gov had a terrible start.
No one's going to be held accountable for not hiring somebody who knows this stuff.
We've addressed that question, and we're about the business right now of making the improvements necessary so that this benefit that so many Americans clearly want is available to them.
Listen, he's got a tough job, right? I mean,
no, he does.
That was a non-answer. I heard nothing.
Yeah, no,
there.
He said we've addressed this question before, which is a very different way of saying, very different than saying we've answered this question before, because they haven't answered it and they don't want to answer it. They don't want to answer that basically how badly they messed up and why, and the fact that the only person who's truly accountable, they can't fire because he's the president of the United States.
Now, you say the question remains whether or not the website's the only problem with Obamacare. Well, we're about to find that out, aren't we?
Right. I mean, the critics of Obamacare, like myself and others, have said, look, the failures of the website were essentially a gimme to the president's opponents. No one really expected these kinds of problems to be this bad. But the other parts of Obamacare, the promises that you'll be able to keep your plan, the promises that your premiums will be lower, the promises that you can keep your doctor, all of those things are the real heart of Obamacare. And the president's defenders have said once the website works, everyone will love Obamacare. Critics say no, all of these other problems are going to come to the fore, so we'll see.
Iowa has a poll out today. Quinnipiac did a poll there. They have found now his disapproval rating in the state of Iowa is at 59%. According to this poll, that's the worst rating out of any state that Quinnipiac has found yet. Now the question is that the economy in Iowa, or is that the indecision about Obamacare? Or is it both?
It's probably both of those things. It's probably also that you have a more politicized electorate in Iowa. They're already hearing stuff about the Republican primaries and whatnot, and so I have no idea. But I mean, there are an enormous number of polling problems for this president. I mean, the one I think is the most galling or surprising or interesting is that President Obama has lost the uninsured. A majority of Americans who are uninsured, the supposed beneficiaries of this thing, now say that they don't like Obamacare and that Obamacare is bad for them. That is an amazing number, and it really shows you the utter failure of the rollout of this.
The point to be made there is that the uninsured are the ones who are looking for insurance. So the logic you're employing there, Joan, is that the more they find out about it, the more they do not like it. They're turned off.
Yeah, it's like people who go to a soup kitchen saying that they hate the soup kitchen. I mean, they're out for free food and they don't like the menu. It is an amazing sort of indictment of what this law was intended to do, and it is a suggestion that the unexpected consequences of this law are going to continue to roll out. The idea that somehow bringing in a guy from Microsoft is going to change all of those people's minds, I have a hard time buying.
No soup for you. Thank you, Jonah. Jonah Goldberg on the Hill there. Thank you from Washington. All right, Martha.
Interesting point, right?